Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Code Crafter Guidance Session Series. I am Anisha, member of Code Crafter Society, and I will be your host and host for today's session. We are thrilled to have you all with us as we dive into today's session hosted by Code Crafter Coding Society. Before we get started, let me briefly explain the purpose of a guest lecture series. At CodeCrafter, we are committed to promote coding literacy and cultivate a deeper understanding among IIT Madras BS degree students, equipping them with the foundational skills required for success in the digital age. By our guest lecture series, we aim to create a dynamic community that shares tech experience, knowledge, and serve as a source of inspiration for others to embark on their own transformative journey. Today, in this session, we are having Mr. Abhishek Mankuskar, sir, as a guest. He is the builder and the lead of Social Summer of Code and Social Winter of Code. Now, without doing any further delay, it's my pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest speaker for today's session, Mr. Abhishek Mankuskar, sir. Over to you, sir.
Hey, hello Anisha and hello everyone for this. Thank you for introducing me and thanks for inviting me here. And also to others, thanks for joining for this session. So, Anisha has introduced about me short, but again I will just give a glimpse about what I'm doing right now. Okay, so uh, after my graduation, as I joined organization Game Fultas, I worked there for some months. Uh, and after that, I left that organization and starting working as a freelancer and also working with some startups with some of their parts. And yes, equivalently, I was working with SSoc and SWC. I created that initiative and uh, still working on this. It's a non-profit initiative, I would say, to promote open source and uh, like build some amazing projects in open source world. So today we will be learning about what is open source, what are its basic streams of that, what are the benefits, and through which channels you can do that, and some basics about that. So if you have any doubts, you can ask at the end of the session, or you can just put it in the message tab, and we'll address those questions in the last. Okay. So let me share my screen. Just checking once again, is it visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, cool. So as I told, we'll be learning about open source today and how you can contribute, what are the benefits and importance of that. Starting with what is open source. So basically, you will tell the name itself tells that what open source, something that is openly sourced and used to build some or uh, through which we can build any project or any kind of thing which is licensed or anyone's property that is kept for open to work, open to edit or open to use for free. That is what we call open source. For example, the project like Mozilla Firefox, the browser, it's a browser. So it's an open source browser. Why? You can contribute to that particular browser. You can update that browser. Maybe if you want to add any feature that would help to the community, you can not directly do that. Like you can will go and बोल देंगे कि ठीक है ये वाला अपडेट ऐड कर दो और मैं कर देता हूँ ऐसे नहीं चलेगा for that you need to prove yourself first. You have to do a lot of contributions before that, and then you have to pitch them with a proposal that okay, these are the things I will use this code, this technology, and how I'm going to do that. Once it's accepted, then they invite you to join that particular project repo or anywhere they have put that code, and then you can contribute. So yes, any anything which is open to edit, update, or use, that is what we call open source. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Just okay. So now we'll see how you can start. So considering you all are beginners, you all are mostly in your like second year, third year, first year, and maybe fourth year. So starting with like there are some rules that you need to perform when you are contributing to open source. These are not fixed, but yes, in SSoc and SWC, we like categorize these things so that it will be easy to manage the project and to work in the project and identify people कि कौन क्या कर रहा है. It's also same in the GSOC. There is also this particular hierarchy. So starting with contributor, who is contributor? So the main person or the main who is writing the code here, the open source contribution, the main thing is done by a contributor here. So once while you are starting, you will be starting as a contributor where you will be like selecting any tech stack. Start with learning any tech stack that you like. Maybe it can be HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or maybe it can be Android, C++, Java, anything you like, or anything you want to work in your future. Or also, if you want to practice on a project and make it make that tech stack perfect on yourself. So here, your roles will be like you will be coming, you will be selecting your project, you will be reading the documentation, what is required, what is not, all the things. You will be going through the documentation, and once you are like satisfied, yes, I can do this project, this is the issue, and I can solve it. Then yes, you go here and you solve that issue as a contributor. Clear and simple. Now, once you have selected a project, you have started working on it. Now, okay, it's quite a long that you have started working on this, and now you have entire idea about the project. So on that stage, you can update on mentor part. Now, what you will do, uh, it's not fixed that there will be fixed number of participants contributing to that project like before 2 years there was a participant, and after 2 years there will be the same number or the same amount of participants. So the newcomers, you will be mentor at that time. You will be guiding them. Okay, you have joined this initial, like joined this project. This is the project structure. This is the code. This is the documentation. This is the required thing, and you will be guiding them through. When you are the contributor, there must be a mentor. Those who guided you to like create this code or to help you with any issue or any bug while solving that issue. There are a lot of things like when you are working on any project, on your own personal project, there are some conflicts. Like for example, you are working on front end, your friend is working on back end. So a simple miscommunication or a simple uh, if you get out of the planned path, then it can create an issue. So the same thing here. Mentor is who is guiding you here. He's the expert of that tech stack. He's the expert. He or she is expert of that tech stack or the project. Okay. Now the third role. I will not say you need to be very expert for this role, the project admin. But yes, the project administrator is who who is the owner of the project or the creator of that particular project. He or she has to know everything about the particular project, every tech stack that is used, every project idea, design, why it's used, like why that particular project is made, how it will help the community. The project admin need to make sure all the things, and the project admin need to like review the code. Then he has to merge the code. If he thinks that he know there are some bugs, the code is not compatible with his particular code base, or it may cause any issue in the future. Then that's the responsibility of project admin to see and guide the participant and the mentor equivalent. Now the project admins also get help with mentors that for maintaining the code, for the documentation purpose, or whatever he needs or he or she needs help. So if you have any project idea, any open source project idea, or any project idea, not particularly open source, it can be a small project for now because starting with small, it will take to a big thing definitely. If you start and do that particular thing consistently. So yes, if you have any project idea, any open source or any solution to a problem that can be made open source, then yes, definitely you can be a project admin and start your own project. But again, make sure you need to have a lot of knowledge here. You need to have experience to manage the project. Shortly saying, you need to be a project manager, you need to be tester, then you need to be a developer, and yes, you also need to be a business person here because you are convincing the people to use this initiative and to tell them how it will help you. So yes, it's a kind of whole lot of a package. Now, okay, we have got through कि like what are the roles? कि हम कैसे क्या क्या roles होते हैं और कैसे हम open source contribution कर सकते हैं. Now let's see the domains. What are the domains you can work on? There can be tech, non-tech. For example, yes, you are into engineering, but ऐसे होता है कि when you are into your fourth year, you realize that here I am good into coding, or I am good into designing, I am good into testing maybe, or I am a good manager, I want to do MBA. So lot of things can happen. So it's not like you need to be a developer only. Let's see what are the tech domains here. Now, definitely the tech part will be the actual coding part. If you are working on software, you may be working on software, a website or an application. Software, just you need to download the packages into your system and work on that. Once while you're contributing to a website, it's not needed. You are just working online. It can be used to like put and create a pull request. Application same. It's totally on your part. Like what you want to work on and how you want to upskill yourself in which field. This is kind of a ground where you can play any sport and upskill yourself. Now, if you want, like, no, I'm not going into coding. I can't do it. Can't do this. No problem. It happens. If you have any kind of these feelings, you can go into technical writing. If you think, no, I'm good into explaining, or I'm good into writing, or theoretical person. So yes, here you can go into technical writing. What is the role here? You need to maintain documentation. Whatever the project is created, it need to be clearly mentioned. Like what are the expectations, what are the future goals, what has happened previously, so that a contributor can come and see. Okay, इसमें पहले क्या हुआ था, क्या क्या problems आए थे. You need to also write the bugs in case कोई अगर bug आ गया तो उसमें क्या करना है. Most of the time it happens कि like system based, the problems are system based. uh, Maybe you will be using some of the older version of Windows, some of you may be using latest version, or you may be using Mac. So there may be some basic problems like this. So for that purpose, you need to maintain the documentation. Okay. Now going towards non-technical. Now, okay, documentation also comes under tech plus non-tech. Uh, there are some things I hope you will understand that documentation also comes in non-tech part according to me. So yes, in non-tech part again, uh, you can work on like UI UX. Then as I mentioned, you can work on installation guides. Like if a contributor is coming, then he is starting a project, so how he should install that project into his system to check कि करना क्या है or to add any particular feature. So for that, uh, there need to be a particular steps or the set of steps, like install like this, or these are the steps. If you have any issues again, then yes, go through this. If you have this system, this version of system, then you need to follow these particular steps. So yes, all these things need to be done by you. Can I will say you, the technical writer or the writer can do this. Now coming to the next part, that is UI UX design. Now okay, you will say that कि okay coding तो नहीं आती और या फिर इतना comfortable नहीं है आप. Writing may be okay. I'm not much good into writing, but I'm good into designing. What should I do? So yes, again you can contribute to open source. as a UI UX designer. You can create architectures of the design, you can create wireframes, how the things will work here, how what should be the flow of the project on click on a particular click, what should happen. So anything that is related to design or architecture, you can definitely do that. Just you need to contact your project admin and tell him or her that hey, let's do this. This will add the value to the project in this way, and I will do this thing and I will create this feature in this particular manner. Okay. And the last part, as I said, pitch your own idea. Anything you think that if this will make this particular project more good or easy to understand, or like if you want to upgrade the documentation key, you found that the wordings used in the documentation are quite high, or it's not very easy to understand, then you can definitely upgrade that. So it's totally on you. Nothing like yahi chahiye. No, you can contribute to open source in any way. ना ओके इतना सब कुछ तो हम्म, आपने देख लिया फायदा क्या है सब कुछ करने का ओके so yes if you are an active contributor definitely you are what you are doing you are writing the code on your own because even if someone copies the code then he or she needs to understand or to put that code into the block into that particular block and connect the blocks for example okay, you take a battery of your bike from a stall or from a shop, but you need to know कि कौन सा wire कहाँ पे लगेगा, right? Then only the battery will work. So definitely you're working on your own here. You are like exploring the things and it's giving you the actual benefit and the experience. Once while you're coding at first time, what you will do, you will write 100 lines of code. Now after that, you think that it can it could be done in some other way. So at the second stage, you can upgrade that code and you can write it into 50 lines or 60 lines. So these things you are learning it on your own and seriously. So again, you are upskilling yourself and you are adding to your own feature. It's like an asset. You are building your own asset, and people are using it to like make their lives easy or make their work easy. So yes, first part. Second, you can definitely mention the feature you have created in any open source project in your resumes or your interviews. That particular thing is live. That project is live here. It's live in the community and it's being used. So once you are mentioning the link and the PR request in your resume, it gives you the validation. It gives the validation to the recruiter or the HR. Like हाँ भाई इसने सच में किया है ये अभी लाइव चल रहा है and what is the proof of that it was a pull request that is accepted by the maintainer and definitely there will be some reviews after you have put the pull request so yes you again you need to make validation or उन्हें like समझाना पड़े कि ये मैंने ही किया है या फिर it's not free when you are giving any interview that's the major thing that recruiter checks कि आप the thing what you have mentioned in your resume is it even true or you are just bluffing so here because you have created this code on your own you know the inch of that every inch of that thing so this gives a genuinity and uh, definitely if you are an open source contributor and in the competition there is a normal person then definitely the trust will bend towards you the trust of recruiter these then yes there are some programs like Google Summer of Code Outreach uh, and like Outreach then there is MNH fellowship those who pay for open source contributions once you have created a feature and the amount is huge actually it varies from $300 to 500 to 800 it depends on how skilled you are and what kind of feature you are proposing them to work on so yes you can also do that and if you are joined with any of these initiatives any of these open source programs, it gives a lot of weightage to your resume because you must have seen the Google Summer of Code and MNH Fellow, these kind of tags on LinkedIn. The recruiters get again a verification that yes, this guy has done something good, and that's why these big organizations have hired him or took him into that particular project. Okay, work on this, and you have certified for that. So yes, these are some features. I will say benefits, and again at the end, I will say the core thing is you will understand a lot of things. Now, in your college, you must be learning the theoretical part, but when you will join an organization, there is some protocols कि like code ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. There should be clean coding. Should be clean coding. The code should be short. Then code ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. इसी फाइल में होना चाहिए. There is a file structure. जैसे HTML में create कर लिया कि कुछ भी like home dot HTML ऐसे नहीं फंक्शंस के नाम कुछ भी रख दिए या फिर कैमल केस यूज नहीं किया दूसरा कुछ यूज कर लिया है कलर्स ठीक नहीं है कोड का अलाइनमेंट ठीक नहीं है सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स यू विल अंडरस्टैंड हियर which will help you get disciplined coder. So definitely wherever you are working, this thing is needed for sure. So this will help you, and at the end you will connect with many of the great folks. You will be connected to a community members, the developers, designers, testers, and definitely if you are doing good, then they will be referring you in their organizations. You will get direct reference into their organizations, or if you are working in GSOC, then the particular organization you are working for, they can also hire you. So yes, there are some huge benefits of open source contribution if you do it seriously and neatly. Okay, now let's see a short visual of this. I will use SWC website here just for showing you how the things work here. For example, we will take this any of these are the projects of SSoc. You can see the project name, the tech stack used, the description, and what are things needed here. So okay, let's see this project physics. So these are technologies used here. This is the owner of the project. Uh, Owner's LinkedIn, GitHub. What is the description? If you want to connect with owner, connect with her here. And if you want to see repo, click here. Okay. So here you can see that these are some files, not ton of files. क्या है ये सब कुछ ऐसे नहीं समझेगा. So you need to go with entire details of this thing, what it's done till now, what this project expects, and once you want to see what is the thing needed, go here on the issues. We'll see. Okay, these are the things required. Gender classification. I want this thing, or I want feature request adding data workflow. These are the issues that you can work on. And let's take this issue, gender classification. If you want to work on this issue, then just go and comment here, like the Karthik has done here. Here, I would like to also contribute resolving this issue, and you can do the same. Then, if the owner finds that you are good and you can do this project, then he will assign this to you for a particular time period because others are waiting. If you can't do it in particular time period, then why to keep it vacant? Why to keep it occupied? So yes, give the time frame. He like I will do it in 10 days, and I will do this in this week. If the thing is done, or you will make a pull request. Sorry, you will make a clone of this project. You will work on it, and you will create a pull request. Once it's done, like this, okay, I have created these proposed changes. I have made these changes. These are the tech stack used. These are the features added. And if the project owner finds all good, then they will merge your issue. And yes, your feature will be live. And yes, you have done successful open source contribution. Yeah, congrats for that. So yes, this is how things work here, and yes, here we'll end our session. If you have any doubts, you can tell in the chat, or you can also scan this QR code to connect with me on LinkedIn.
So it's time to check out some doubts and questions that our audience has for you, sir. Uh, so
Okay, okay, sure.
yeah, so first question was asked by Abhijit, and he was asking, he needs clarity regarding everything from weekly time commitment to future perspectives in career from doing this contribution.
Okay, can you be specific? I am not sure what he's expecting. Can you repeat?
Yeah, sure. Actually, he needs clarity regarding everything that weekly time commitment to that future perspectives in career from doing this open contribution. Uh,
Okay. Uh, Again, I am not sure, but okay, I will tell how you can do this. So you can contribute to any project or any issue on a weekly basis. Consider that you take some small issues in the starting and plan your stuff, what you have in this the upcoming week. When you are taking that issue on yourself, then the project admin, okay, I need 1 week, I need 10 days, and plan that accordingly and work every day on the specifics and what is the required thing. And if you follow, if you are consistent, then definitely at, I will say, on the seventh day, you will be ready with your code. And again, after the 10th day, you can shift on the next. So it's not like कि आपको एक ही दिन में ही करना है, 2 दिन में ही करना है. No, time you will decide, but it should be genuine time. Like ऐसे नहीं आप login page बना रहे हो and you are saying that I need 15 days. So no, it should not happen. If max you can take 4 days or 5 days for a login page. It's too easy. So it's flexible, but it should be relevant to the time should be relevant to the feature you're making. I hope I have answered your query.
yeah. Uh, I will like to that. If anyone have any question, then please raise your hand. You can ask from the sir. If anyone, or I
Okay,
think I will
let's take some questions from
chat.
chat.
Sir. Yeah,
Okay, the first one was Lakshmi. Hey Lakshmi, nice to meet you again. I remember you. Okay, YouTube channel. I don't know about that. I guess organized, you know. Is project admin supposed to have technical background? Sure, this should be perfect. You should be very experienced, as I see. It's not again necessary that like practically I will say practical technically it should be not ki go technical background CEO, but it's preferred because you are a lead here. You can have a partner with you who is good in technical, but again, as you are a leader here of a project, then you need to be technically active. You need to have a lot of knowledge and you need to have more than basics. I would say. Okay, what is the level of proficiency required as a contributor? Beginner. Uh, as I said, just choose what tech stack you want to learn. As a contributor, you can start from here. So choose your tech stack, work on the basics of that tech stack. It would be more good. Once you are done with basics, then start with solving small issues. Don't jump directly on big issues. Start with like creating a. Okay, the best thing I will say is while you are learning, start with creating a personal portfolio. That's the best thing. And frankly speaking, I have started my journey from here. I have created 4 versions of my personal portfolio and I'm working on my fifth. So personal portfolio, add features to it, try to make it more good. because it's your own thing. You are making your own profile here, and once you're working on this, definitely you're learning and implementing that. So yes, the level of proficiency begin. Can you provide a rough pathway of becoming a custom ROM developer from scratch? Okay, Anshuman, I'm not sure about that, but definitely I will give you some insights. I have some connections for this. So connect with me on LinkedIn. I will give you some references. I want to contribute, but whenever I see a list of skills, then sometimes something or the other is often missing. Okay, Navneet, this is very good question actually. So again, yes, this is very relevant when you join as a uh, when you join in an organization. So you are not told to work on a lot of things. You are told to work on chunks. For example, there is a Amazon website you are working on. They will just ask you to work on the cart. Okay, cart. If I click on add to cart, then there should be a that tag should be visible or that card should be visible in the cart. So such small things of like the chunks are made and you will be working on that. And now if there is any tech stack, I will say have basics of that, basic knowledge of that. Because if you have basics, then definitely you can implement that with the help of internet. You have a lot of things. Chat GPT है अभी तो Chat GPT का बहुत सही use होता है. So you can use that, but again, as I told, you take the resources, but know what you're doing here. Don't just blindly trust on any resource and just copy किया control C control V and you will say कि okay ठीक है, काम कर लो अभी काम तो करना चाहिए. No, as I said, बैटरी लेके आओगे, वायर्स आपको ही कनेक्ट करने हैं. So you should know कि what wire should connect where, and it happens. That's not a big issue no need. Ram Krishna, since I can see that for an issue there can be more than one person who applies for. No, Ramakrishna, there will be first come first serve. If you have commented first, then according to your proposal, what your profile is, the uh, project owner can assign it to you. But once assigned, you need to give a time period, and in that time period, you have to solve that. If you are unable to do that, project admin will unassign that from you and assign it to someone else. So, okay, LinkedIn starter. We can contribute to that of in MLEI space. The PhaseX one, that's the best project. And if you want to look for these kind of projects, uh, what you can do, just come, if you want to work on basic projects like these, come to SSoc website, go to Google Script Summer of Code website. The projects are open there. You can see projects. Those are participating, and we actually promote people to promote students to create their own open source project also. If you have any idea, even if you have startup idea, then you can test yourself कि okay, can I create the project? बाकी का तो ठीक है होते रहेगा, but the initial stage, I'm not saying कि create your entire startup website, but just the start or the push to connect with the developers. If you found them good, you can uh, ask them to work with you personally uh, on the startup basis. So yes, and rather than that, you can also go to Google Summer of Code website or Outreach website. You can see you can see a lot of repos there and be active on LinkedIn. Yep. Yes, that's what I will say. Do we have any more questions?
Anyone can, if anyone has any question, then please put that in chat, or you can raise your hand.
Guys, don't feel shy. If you are feeling okay, that's not an issue, but you can also message me on LinkedIn. So yes, but try to ask your questions here. The verbal correction is more good than the text shot.
I think all have nobody have nothing to ask you.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
But
Uh,
in case if you have any doubts, definitely you can connect with me on LinkedIn and we can have a short talk there.
Thank you, sir, for this productive session. We extend our sincere gratitude to all the participants for making this session a valuable one. Thank you, everyone, for joining this session. We hope you have gained some valuable knowledge, and we will see you next time. And don't forget to participate in SSoc Open Source Contribution Program by clicking the link provided in the invitation mail we have sent you before, or you can copy paste the link mentioned by Code Crafter in chat box.